Hi, Ashok. Great to have you on our program, The Business Detective. Can I begin by asking you what inspired you to get into business?
Well, good question. I used to work at John Keel's. I started my career at 18. So I have seen that conglomerate that has been a very valuable and very successful corporate at that time, and even today, I must say. So, after seeing and after working there, right, obviously, right, I was inspired to, do something on my own. And, so that's where I started.
Have your priorities changed from where you started?
Of course, your priorities, change, I would say with with all what is happening around the world and in the country, so you need to align and, you need to adjust.
Okay. In terms of a vision, where are you? Have you achieved or realized your vision? Or?
Well, Dinesh, right, vision, obviously, right, I want to build a, good, organization, which can contribute to, obviously to the stakeholders, the shareholders, to employees, and overall to the society. I think, in that sense, I have done, I must say I can be happy about what I have achieved so far. But, by looking at what we have done and what we have structured and what we have, aligned, I can say that, there's so much more that we can do.
Okay. What challenges did you have to face at the beginning of your journey?
Well, I have faced everything that any entrepreneur would have faced, right? In terms of raising capital, right? Obviously, I started my company almost, when the, at the start of the beginning of the war, right? At that time there was a war, right? So, so we have, almost 20 plus years of, organization we went through, through the war, right? So, after that, obviously, right, so far, we still have challenges time to time. And even right now, if you look at the economy, right, obviously it's going through some challenges, right? So I think I cannot tell you, right, one particular challenge, but environment has always been very challenging.
Okay. What has been your contribution to the retail industry? Because you have been bold and dynamic in terms of investments and all.
Yeah, so at least, I can say that, we have revolutionized the retail industry in terms of we have built the retail to international level in most of the, areas that what we are represented, whether it's fashion or even the supermarkets, right? We have created, new way of thinking and new way of, presenting, products and services. So I think in that sense, right, even the others, right? We are a little late. We are the newcomer in the supermarkets, if you take the supermarket industry. But I can see that everybody else is changing after we came in, right? So I think, so in that sense, right, we have done, many more, a lot of stuff in the retail industry. And one reason that we do is, right, that we firmly believe that, Sri Lanka can be a, completely a shopping, paradise, right? Destination like Singapore or Dubai or Malaysia or any of these nations, right? Thailand. So I think, we are not there, right? Simply because, infrastructure is getting there, like in terms of the shopping malls in terms of the brands to ambience and the service levels to and everything. So I think, unfortunately, we went through this COVID and, East attack and all that. Hopefully, right, we can put all these behind us very soon. And I'm sure, right, if you market this country, properly as a, shopping destination, this country can, benefit in a big way. And a retailer like us, who are very well positioned to, take advantage of that, would be, it will be great for the company.
You have built a reputation where people say you got the banks to work for you. What is the secret?
Why not? Why the banks are there? Banks should, support the entrepreneurs and the businesses, right? If we are not there, I don't think the banks would have, developed to this level also. They need customers. And why not? I mean, if you have a good proposition, right? I mean, the banks would always support us, right? And also you need to build your integrity, right? I'm sure, right? People trust me, right? I mean, it's not that, I mean, nobody is giving money, throwing money away to me, right? They are backing me because they believe that, I mean, with my integrity and, what we have done in the past and, that we have a great vision and that they believe in the vision. That's the only reason that any financial institute will back anyone.
Yeah. Ashok, if you go back 5 years, what are the things you would have done differently?
5 years back? Well, Dinesh, I can't, I mean, honestly tell you, right, I would have done anything differently, right, to be very honest, right? I can tell you, right, I mean, probably we have done exactly what we wanted to do, right? And probably, right, I mean, some of the challenges what we have faced, I mean, we may not have anticipated. Like, I mean, example, East attack or COVID, I mean, nobody would have anticipated, right? So I think, apart from that, I mean, we have executed our plan. I mean, we have not deviated from our plan at all.
Ashok, what are some of your frustrations in running a huge business enterprise? What changes would you like to see from the government side and from the private sector side?
Well, right, I mean, obviously, we like to see some, obviously, right, I mean, policy-wise, I mean, we like to see some continuation of policies irrespective of government changes. That is, I mean, something any private sector organization would like to have. And, I mean, if you look at our country, right, I mean, time to time, every year from the budget to, I mean, the policies are changing. I mean, it's not only for me, any investor, right, they would like to see policy stability, right? If the policy stability is not there, it's very difficult for people to invest. Now, if you take example, right, I mean, people who have invested heavily on, motor industry. Now, where are they today, right? We also have motor businesses. We also have motorcycles, right? I mean, of course, yes, we understand the government is in a difficult situation. They need to take certain decisions. I mean, because of COVID, the imports have been completely stopped, right? So I'm talking about we maybe not be having too much investments there, but I mean, if you just imagine, right, I mean, somebody completely depending on that industry, where their situation could be. So obviously, right, I mean, those are the things. And also I would like to see the governments or, respective governments have always been talking about private sector is the engine of the growth. But I really sometimes don't see that is the case, right? Sometimes I feel, right, I mean, they like the private sector to a certain extent, but at the end of the day, right, I mean, sometimes they don't like the private sector to become too strong as well, I feel, right? So I think, those are the challenges, right? I mean, that the private sector would face. I mean, sometimes the policies can be made, I mean, based on based on the person. I mean, you can't do business like that, right? Business has to be, I mean, to be neutral to everybody, right? The policies has to be, I mean, fixed for, any businessman and any organization. It shouldn't change from business to business and person to person.
Okay. Ashok, if you fast forward 5 years, what would your group look like in 5 years?
Okay, that's a good question, Dinesh, right? We are, this year, probably we will cross 100 billion rupees in terms of turnover, right? I would say 5 years, I mean, with the plans, what we have, probably we would be about at least 2.5 to 3 times of this size.
Okay. So, and would you also venture into new lines?
Not really, right? I mean, we are in, 3 large sectors: retail, healthcare, and, financial services, right? I mean, there's so much of scope within these 3 sectors. Probably we might look at, some infrastructure projects, maybe like, energy, right? If the opportunity is there, right? I mean, if we feel like it's a good investment, we might look at that. Apart from that, we have no plans to, I mean, move into any other industry.
Okay. Is talent a big challenge for you going forward?
Which one?
Talent, skills, people and skills. Yeah.
Yes. So talent is becoming that's a key. I mean, we are in the service industry, Dinesh. I think it's all about people, right? I mean, if you have the right people, actually you can grow and you can actually expand also. But finding talent is a problem. And if you given the today's situation, I mean, I feel, right, that lots of talent, I mean, people are leaving the country, I mean, obviously, right, I mean, we have to find a way to, retain these people. And, it's not only our position. It's also about the country, right? The country's economy, and when people feel frustrated, and when they don't see that much of future, obviously, right? Good people will, look somewhere else. So this is going to be a continuous challenge. At this moment, it is worrisome to me.
Okay. My final two questions is one is, are you planning to give some of your money away for charitable causes?
We already doing that, Dinesh. We don't make big noises about it, right? If you take healthcare, right? We are the largest operator, but at the same time, a certain amount of it, we do free services. Example, right? We do about 10 heart surgeries per month for children. These kids have been picked from, the children's hospital of, the government hospital. Right. And so things like that. In that, it's not only us. Sometimes, there are donors. There are private people who doesn't want to be named also contribute to those causes. So I think, we as a group, we understand our social responsibility very well. That is going to be a continuous thing from our end.
Okay. You're already playing an important role in the public service. Would you think of doing something more than that in the future?
Well, Dinesh, right, I think, this is the only thing I wanted to do, in fact, right? this is something I picked. And at this moment, I have no idea of doing anything else, to be very honest. I have a, big job on my hand, right? SriLankan Airlines. Why I picked that was probably would have been the most challenging job for anybody. And I just don't want to go and burn chairs in anywhere, because, that's not the type, that's not me. Right. So I thought, obviously, right. Even today I'm determined to put that right. So I think that's the challenge that, that's the biggest challenge. And it gives me enough excitement and the challenge to keep it going. So I don't know. I have not thought beyond that. So, one day if I feel that, I can be, helpful to the country, even in another role. And obviously I might consider that.
Okay. Finally, when you call it a day, how would you like to be remembered?
Well, I wanted to be remembered as somebody, who has done something, contributed, to the country, built something great for the people and for their stakeholders. And I think, most importantly, as a man with integrity. I think that is what Ashok Pathirage is, not anything else. It's not all about money, right? It's the excitement and the passion. That's why I'm still energetic, and I still wake up in the morning, and I would still want to, happy to, come to work and, execute my plans.
And a quick question on succession.
Yeah, so just like any other corporate, I'm sure it's open for anybody. My children are there. But I always tell, right, if, it depends on what they like. If they don't, if they feel and if they like to do this, and if they are capable enough, I would say that, they will be involved in the business. Otherwise,
Okay.
there are board of directors, listed companies, stakeholders, governance structures. So I think, these companies will sustain by itself.
Okay. Thank you, Ashok, for spending this time talking to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.